Rising from the plains are these massive buttes, and intermingled between these buttes are shortgrass prairie and ponderosa pine woodlands and mountain mahogany shrubland. And once you see this landscape, everything just hits you. And then on top of these massive buttes, there's a species out here that you normally wouldn't get to see in Nebraska. Bighorn sheep were native to Nebraska. Once settlers came west, they were completely wiped out, but they have come back and are now a part of this landscape. It would be very disappointing to see them out of this landscape again. The Wildcat Hills would have another hole in its heart. My name is Grant Reiner. For my undergrad, I studied fisheries and wildlife, and for my master's degree, I got a Master's of Applied Science with an emphasis in science communication. My graduate project was 2 years long, and I had to decide where I wanted to complete the project, so I chose the Wildcat Hills. The Wildcat Hills start at the Wyoming border and span across Nebraska for 55 miles. And for those 2 years, I placed camera traps out on the landscape. I've captured everything from pack rats to mountain lions, songbirds, birds of prey, turkey vultures, bobcats, mule deer, fox, coyotes. I mean, there's just so much out here. And the camera traps have also captured bighorn sheep. Mike Forsberg was the one who taught me all about camera trapping.
What did we get this time?
2 coyotes, 2 lions, bighorn sheep, and turkeys.
Not a bad day.
Not a bad day.
I've used camera traps of various kinds out here in the Wildcat Hills for, maybe back in 2011. Anytime something crosses that trigger, trips that trigger, it sends a signal to the camera. The camera takes a picture. The camera takes a picture and the flashes are tied to the camera, so the flashes go off when the camera goes off. And hopefully you get something really cool in the frame. These are real rugged landscapes, and there's a lot of wildlife, but a lot of times you don't see it. So being able to put some cameras out there that are there watching and recording when you're not is a really important tool to tell the story of life out here in the high plains. So with these camera traps being out for the last couple of years, they've captured a lot of bighorn sheep behavior. When you hear the word Nebraska and you hear the word bighorn sheep, you don't think those two go together.
They are these tremendous athletes that can scale these walls that you would never dream of going up or down.
Bighorn sheep were creatures of the plains, just like a lot of other species that you only think of in the mountains today. A grizzly bear were here, mountain lions were here, elk were here. Fortunately, some of these species are starting to come back, and it's because of the conservation efforts that have taken place by a large community of people in this part of the state.
Behind us, there's a sheep going across. I gotta look, sorry. I don't have my I could just see the butt. I don't have my glasses on, but that's a small ram, young ram. So how cool is that? I'm Todd Nordine with the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. I'm the Big Game Disease and Research Program Manager. The primary loss of sheep in this region was due to unregulated hunting, habitat loss, and disease. Those are the three factors that really caused the downfall of bighorn sheep out here in western part of the state and throughout the country for that matter. The first reintroductions back to the state started back in 1981. The sheep that we've got now, have come from various parts of the country, Custer State Park and Pikes Peak area, Colorado Springs.
3, 2, 1, go. It's down, come on up.
And we've been up to the Missouri Breaks of Montana. We've also been to the province of Alberta.
Okay.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And that's all the places that they've come from, so quite the diversity.
That's a nice ram there. Yeah, she's a beauty. Yeah. Here comes the ram, boys.
The reason we were doing this, first of all, is we did a habitat suitability study, and it indicated that we still have good to excellent habitat in the Wildcat Hills.
Pull the gray trailer door back farther. Thank you.
Bighorn sheep, like many species, we're close to extinction. And as we talked earlier, we're extirpated from the state. But all species play an important role in the ecosystem, and science has determined that. We felt it was important to try to bring them back to this landscape after nearly a 100-year absence. We've had a lot of interest in bringing sheep back from the public, but also landowners. A lot of these efforts have gone on across the country to bring them back, and so we've been a part of that and felt it's really important to do so.
My name is Emily Moberg, and I am a graduate research assistant at South Dakota State University. We are in Williams Gap in the Wildcat Hills, and we're just doing our bighorn sheep captures.
This is 15351 and 15513.
Go, go, go!
Cool.
Every February since 2017, we've been doing our annual disease surveillance. Right off the bat, we take off the old collar so that we can get to their jugular to draw some blood. We also collect DNA. We'll ear tag it if they need a new ear tag. We ultrasound them to see if they're pregnant. And if they are pregnant, we insert a little tiny transmitter inside their birth canal, which will come out and tell us when there was a birth event. And then for our disease surveillance, we take about 6 nasal swabs. Since 2015, we've had a pneumonia die-off where up to 60% of our sheep were lost. This is a huge issue all across Western America. Anybody that has a sheep population is seeing effects of pneumonia, so nobody really knows how to best and most effectively treat this disease. Everything that we're doing is just trying to help increase numbers so that we can get to a healthy, viable population. So lambing's a lot like chess. You have to be really calculated in your capture. You can't just run at it because even at 12 hours old, they can outrun us.
Okay, I see it, Emily. Yep. Okay. It's right tucked under this rock here. Right here. Right, I'm gonna put the net down. Time is 9:42, 45 seconds.
Our goal is always to handle it in 4 minutes or less and just get out of there and leave as little scent as possible.
Another male.
So we put them in the bag. That kind of calms them down. So then we weigh it once they're in that bag.
5.2.
Okay, 151,280. Once that's done, we put a collar on it. And then we collect nasal swabs, see if that little baby has bacteria that is associated with the pneumonia. That's it. After that's all good and done, we try to release it right back where we caught it and just get out of there as quickly as we can.
9:44, 50 seconds.
So far, out here in the Wildcat Hills, this reintroduction of the bighorn sheep has been a big success. They're back on this landscape, their populations are increasing, largely in part because of such a huge community of conservationists, landowners, professionals, researchers that have come together for one goal, which is to make sure that these bighorn sheep survive out here in the Wildcat Hills.
In Nebraska, wildlife biologists that are in charge of these native species that they're trying to reintroduce back into the wild are really amazing people. Their connections with these animals run really, really deep. Their hearts are about like this big, you know, and that's what it takes. That's what conservation takes out here in the plains today.